Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. I'm going to title this video, Don't Let the Fed Fool You. Now, for those of you who have been following me on this channel for any length of time, you have heard me talk about average inflation rate like so many times it'll probably make your eyes roll back in your head. But this is the change that has happened, and a lot of people just don't see or know about this strategy change coming from the Federal Reserve. Let me read you this report. This came out of Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, right? This is titled... Fed's new inflation targeting policy seeks to maintain well-anchored inflation expectations. Now, just listen to this part of it. The Fed Chair, Jerome Powell, announced the more significant changes resulting from the Fed's monetary policy framework review on August 27, 2020. The statement of longer-run goals and policy strategies explicitly acknowledges the challenges posed by the proximity of the interest rate to the effective lower bound. Now, basically, they had the Fed funds rate so close to zero that they were no longer going to have a monetary policy, right? So once the Fed funds rate hit zero, you can't drop it anymore, no more stimulating the economy. By reducing the Fed's scope to support the economy through interest rate cuts, right? Reaching the lower bound. The lower bound increases downward risk to employment and inflation. The statement also highlights that the Fed is prepared to use its full range of tools to achieve its dual mandate objectives: stable prices and maximum sustainable employment. Notably, the Fed changed its language on inflation, replacing its 2% target commitment, and instead said it will seek to achieve inflation that averages 2% over time. Right? Remember, this is August 27th of 2020. The change is a substantial departure from the previous flexible inflation targeting regime. Monetary policy under inflation targeting was symmetric. The Fed would equally respond to overshooting and undershooting of the target. The Fed lets bygones be bygones, since it does not attempt to make up for past inflation deviations from the target. By comparison, average inflation targeting means that the policymakers would consider those deviations and can allow inflation to modestly and temporarily run above the target to make up for past shortfalls, and vice versa. You see what's happening here? People don't get it. They don't see what the Federal Reserve was truly up to. Think about this coming from the monetary policy strategies from a low neutral interest rate world. This is John Williams' speech given November 30th, 2018. Today, we face an altogether different set of problems stemming from a very low neutral interest rate. The same one that was the problem here. That is, the short-term real interest rate consistent with an economy operating at its potential alongside low and stable inflation. Ironically, the problem we need to solve these days is the risk of inflation that is persistently too low rather than too high. You see what's happening? They are totally tricking the markets. They are tricking everybody. Like nobody is paying attention to this stuff. How does the Fed influence interest rates using its new tools? All right? This is another one. August 5th, 2020. About the same time that old Jerome Powell was given that speech. In fact, I think I have that speech buried down in here. And I'm going to go over that speech. I'm going to go over how does the Federal Reserve influence interest rates using new tools. I'm going to read through all this stuff. We are going to break down exactly what the Federal Reserve was intending on doing, what happened, how they did it, and where they are today. And they did this exactly the way that they wanted it. There is no mistake. There is no accident. They did not screw up. They have us right where they wanted us, and they have it right here in these documents. And I'm going to leave this down in the description of this video. And if you want to learn more about this stuff, consider joining in on the live stream that's going to be at 5 o'clock Pacific time today, which is January 10th. And you have to join the channel. It's $1, right? $1 to join in on the membership of the channel. You have access to all the membership videos. You'll have access to these live streams. It is a very concentrated group of very serious, like-minded individuals who are very serious about figuring out what it is that's going on with this monetary policy so that we can figure out what it is that we need to do for ourselves. Nobody's going to show us, man. Nobody. Nobody out there. I don't care who it is. I don't care how good they are. I don't care how much money they have, right? Yeah, I'm driving an old 99 Ford Explorer. I work a day job, but I'm still figuring this stuff out. And I'm figuring it out for myself because I know intuitively if I do, I will be making the right decisions. Uneducated economist, you let me know. Come join the live stream tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific time.